Quick, get us going.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Before we begin, it is that time. That is right. Sponsor mentions. Gooder Sunglasses, you guys. That is right. Gooder is back. We love Gooder. We love the variety, the quality, the style, the non-slip, the gentle bathing of humor, slight dusting of humor, like powdered sugar on a Belgian waffle in their advertisements, and most of all, their price. So affordable, you can afford to buy more than one. Use the link at packfiller.com today. We will have product to hand out all to our show patrons. Why is the dog barking? Everybody's here.
I don't know.
Reynolds Wheels, everybody. Solid, fast, gorgeous, and one of the best warranty programs out there. Hopefully, we will never find that out. We believe in these wheels, and you should too. Head over to mojocyclery.com or do the right thing and visit them in the Spokane Valley at 1405 North Argonne. Huel. I'm continuing to plug for Huel Human Fuel. That it is. We are currently pushing the Black Edition shake with 40 grams of protein per meal. However, there are hot meals. There's like mac and cheese. There's like pasta bolognese. There's chili. Not chili. This wouldn't be the good time of year to push chili or something like that. But all these kind of things you can just make on the go, and they end up to being about $2.50 per meal. Be sure to get to Packfiller and use the link today, and not only support the show, but grab great tasting, affordable meals. Trust me, Huel.com/Packfiller.
Either you rode your bike today, or you spent the whole day in the garden because your arms are very red.
They're not red. This isn't red for me. I had sunblock on today.
Look at that. Doesn't that arm look red? Doesn't that look red to you?
Do I look red?
No.
This is my version of color. This is a tan for me, man.
Ow.
This is a tan. Yeah, sorry.
Blinding.
Yeah. I don't.
Blinding Irish up
I don't
there.
tan. I burn and I peel. I'm not white. I'm pale blue.
That's a keeper.
Save me from myself. Put it in the skin box. All right, the beers are poured, the opinion's stoked, and my hangover is finally gone from Jackson's bachelor party.
Nice.
Oh. Ouch.
Don't do as I do as I say. It must be time for Life on Two Wheels. It is time for the Packfiller Cycling Podcast. Bring the theme down a little bit. Probably for those of you listening at home, the theme just disappeared. We are live from the Rim Break Bar. You can watch us on YouTube or right on the homepage at packfiller.com. Well, this is it. That's right. Our 3-week Super Bowl starts on Saturday. John Teschwan called it the Super Bowl of cycling, and I remembered that. And I thought it was cool. Now I don't. I'm sure you're full with all the tour preview action happening all over the cycling world, and as part of the cycling world, you're going to get a dose here, but hopefully with a little more fun thrown in, not to mention the opportunity to play along. Let's begin, as we always do, by finding out who is here. Is it warm in here? It's our first warm studio night.
Oh,
It feels good.
It's
It's
more
fine.
on the muggy side,
Yeah.
which is okay for me because I got to get used to that humidity
You're
come
going
in
to Nationals.
August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a...
Already planned. I took the time off.
Really?
Yeah. It's a done deal. My sister and I are going to find an Airbnb.
Really?
Already, yeah. So it's a done deal, boys.
It's happening.
Nice.
Happening. When I introduce you, please respond with the following. What is an assumption people make about you that is totally wrong? Like, wow, nice glasses. I thought you were a serial killer. My wife doesn't like my new glasses. I'm not wearing them right now, but she doesn't like. She says I look like Ted Bundy.
You mean Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. And I say,
I didn't
"Honey,
look in your freezer there.
honey,
That's
just be quiet and have another beer."
what's in your freezer?
Human heads, cookies. I mean cookies. Delicious both ways. First of all, he's the proud owner of a diva dog, Mr. Paul Main.
A diva dog?
Diva
it's
dog.
A diva dog.
You missed out on the bachelor party because of your diva dog.
This isn't like a Ted Lasso
No,
thing.
your dog is a diva.
No.
Your dog is a diva.
Yeah, it needs a baby.
It's like-
Oh, I see.
If
Gotcha.
you leave, I'm going to
Yeah.
make noise, and
Yeah.
you can't
Oh,
come to a bachelor party weekend.
Yeah.
So, first of
Yeah,
all,
it's been a lot of fun because my wife, I mean, it looks like our son, Jordan, when he was colic as a little baby, then he had night terrors. So it's like for 3 years
God.
of his life, it's like all night long. So it's just like, how do we fix this? And you just say, screw it. Our neighbor's going to
win.
hate us because our dog's just
Yeah.
going to bark.
Yeah.
We can't be slayed by this.
Yeah, you're not renting. I mean,
No,
what's
no,
the
but-
landlord going to call? You can just be like, fuck off. We
Yeah,
only play.
but
Oh, there's one.
we've only been there for a month and a half, and so all of a sudden you bring a barking dog. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of people want to help you out when in a time of need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, just
It's not going to be a good thing.
true.
So,
no.
so in 6 months, I'll just say, fuck you.
Yeah.
My dog can bark all he wants.
Yeah.
I'm planted.
Yeah. With your socks and your Birkenstocks
Yeah.
on at the same time.
Hand down my pants.
standing out back watering a parking lot because you don't
Yeah.
have a lawn anymore. You just be like,
Yeah.
hey, get off of my. Never mind.
Parking spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mine.
So, what's an assumption people make about you that's totally wrong?
Well, it's probably correct. But I've heard this several times, and I'll throw Dismount Dave under the bus on this one.
Sure.
Because how we met is he came into the bike shop, and I was a racer, and I had long hair, and I had an attitude, and I was in my 20s,
Yeah.
and
Not much.
he
Has
thought I was the
changed.
cockiest piece of shit he's ever seen. He even said that. I just couldn't stand
Really?
it. Yeah. Thought I was cocky. And then a couple of people in college I ended up talking to, met in different dorms and stuff. They said, I thought you were the cockiest person I ever met.
Really.
Yeah, until I got to know you. But
What do you think it would be that brings that apart? Did anybody?
I
Any of
have
you
no
guys think
idea.
he was a cocky
Nah.
asshole
Huh.
when you met him?
I've never thought that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see that.
But I get it a lot.
Really? Do you?
Oh.
Yeah.
We can talk about it when he's gone.
Yeah.
Later.
yeah.
That's what you guys talked
I'm-
about
I'm
this
trying-
weekend.
All
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
weekend.
Diva dog.
Yeah.
Listen to him. Oh, he's so high
Yeah.
weight.
Well, Carson hasn't been on the show, so we need someone
Yeah.
to fill that.
Oh my gosh.
Second of all, he's the proud owner of the best old-fashioned recipe I have ever had, Mr. Sam
That's
Wade.
dangerous. God, those things will bury you before you know it hit you.
As they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
They go down way too easy.
I woke up the next morning. I'm like, God, those old fashions were good. I had a couple of those. You were like, no, dude.
No,
You had
I
4.
cut you off after 4.
Yeah.
I only remember 2. I
Yeah.
wonder why.
Yeah.
I would
my
say-
underwear's inside out. What the hell?
Horrible. This is so bad on Sunday. So bad.
There was a lot of when did you get up?
On Sunday,
Yeah.
probably like 9:30.
Yeah,
You
I was
had
gone.
the house clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I was up at 7. Well, I'm telling you, I have never been hungover from one of those. Those things they rile me up.
The old fashions
fashions?
don't
Oh,
make
yeah.
you hungover?
No
Says the guy
No
who
way.
won't drink beer, and he's got all this.
because my
a
gut
great point.
biotics are off right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no hangover.
Sam-
God, I can't even look at alcohol.
Yeah.
But no hangover.
Sam's currently enjoying an athletic beer,
Yes.
and he
I just
is.
enjoy athletics so much that I want to have one.
There we go. Oh yeah.
God, what
There we
color
go,
are your
yeah.
eyes? Your eyes should be brown because you're full of shit. What's something about you that's totally wrong?
I think that most people, especially the patients that I work with, are like, man, you're a really outgoing person. You just must be a total extrovert. And I'm like,
Yep.
hell no. Never. I'm the most introverted person. But at the clinic in particular, I put on a show for, being, I just feel like bringing energy to that is, rehab in itself, right?
You took mine.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I literally will walk in the door and I'm sitting outside. I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I'm like, bang, come through the door. I'm like,
Oh,
hello, Janet.
Oh,
And it's-
Kurt.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
how are you today?
Is it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Jazz hands.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
you're
it.
walking in.
And then
Yeah.
it's like I walk out and I'm like, 5 minutes to decompress. So it's like, yeah, that's mine. I'm not really that, outgoing. People meet me outside and they're like, are you okay today? And I'm like, this is baseline.
Yeah. This is normal.
This is normal.
My resting bitch face
Yeah.
is my normal face. Okay. Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. Third, he's the proud owner of soccer ball nipple coverings, Mr. Jackson Bulger.
Right? I'm sure there's a story behind that.
Well,
There is.
There is, yeah.
Jackson had to wear them, and if they fell off,
On the
he had to
shirt.
drink. On
Yeah.
your shirt.
On
On
the
your
shirt,
shirt.
yeah.
Yeah. We did. There were no strippers involved.
No,
We can
no.
say that. There's nothing, no nefarious, nothing disgusting. Well, a couple things, but the fact that people were shotgunning Coors Lights
was the most
Don't you
disgusting
forget.
part of it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Jackson. What is an assumption people make about you that's totally wrong?
So I'm like a little bit more quiet than everybody else is, but they assume that just because I don't talk a lot or I don't say very much in certain situations doesn't really mean that I'm shy or I don't really like want to talk to people. It just means that I don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
I think that I've always been the type of person that just speaks when I need to, and I don't need to fill space with noise and words. So,
You're a wallflower.
yeah, well, I don't really know what
There are
that fully
perks.
means, but but yeah, it's I think that's what it is. It's just because I don't need to talk a bunch or I don't need to share my whole life story doesn't
Yeah.
mean that I'm shy or I don't want to talk to people. And just I don't need to.
Yeah.
People could see that as you're shy or you're a dick.
Yeah, that's the other one.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, I just need to talk when I need to talk. You
Either
know?
way, you
God, and
kind
really,
of
you're not.
you kind of get a perk though out of that because there's Burke being wallflower.
There it is.
If people think
great
you're a
book.
dick, they're not going to hang out with you. The loud, obnoxious people aren't going to want to hang out with you, and that's like two birds with one stone.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna start talking less. No, that's not gonna work.
Me, I am the proud owner of an above ground pool. That is right. Cue the Red Solo Cup song.
Round 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got rid of one.
Yeah.
Got
Wife
another.
was like, we got to get rid of it. I don't want it anymore. Nah, and then 5 months ago, my wife, not 5 months, about 5 weeks ago, she was like, I want a pool again. And I'm like,
don't know why she ever said
Didn't
that.
you throw the other one away
yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Well, that one had a lot of holes in it.
Oh.
No, it didn't.
It had some, didn't
Two
it?
little ones,
Mm.
but I patched them with
Yeah.
that magic
Flex Seal.
Flex Seal glue.
That worked.
Tape. Yeah, it worked brilliantly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
now
is.
I got a new one. So we just call it, I got this from one of my cousins. We call it a Redneck Riviera. And it's big. I'm Pat Bulger, and people assume I am, you took my Sam, super talkative and outgoing. And actually, it like you said, it's kind of okay, I got to be talkative now. So I flip the switch, like right now, and all of a sudden I try to be engaging, but I think my face reads like I really don't like people. I think I'm a resting asshole face. I gotta work on
Oh,
that.
see, I think you're the opposite. I think you
Really?
have a resting like
Like the Joker.
the Joker.
Now, this is coming from a weekend where he consumed 4 old fashions.
Oh, that might have been
That's
it
a
too. Was that
permagran.
the beer goggles?
We won't mention the beer I had before that. And
Oh,
that kind of
man.
stuff.
After.
Yeah, by the way, I have a heart issue. And you know what? Also, the thing about it, a part of that is I read somebody did a Twitter thread, and usually I don't read them, but today it was about Generation Xers. And one of them in the thread was like the rules of Gen Xers, and one of them is they want to have they're okay being friendly at work, but they don't want to be friends. And I'm that way with my job. I'm like, no offense, I don't want to hang out with you guys after work. I want to go home.
And there's nothing wrong with that. People need to remember that there's nothing wrong with that. Just because I work with you doesn't mean that I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or
hate
that I want to go out
Well,
all
also-
weekend or go out and have drinks after work and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I want to go home and have drinks.
That is my other piece. Like, I hang out with my coworkers very rarely. I enjoy all of them, but
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
them for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah,
We just hung out for 8 to 10 hours.
we're good.
Why do we need to hang out more? I don't hang out with my wife that long.
I don't want to talk more about work than I've already been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, the world's best cyclists are prepared. They are ready to rock. With that in mind, how are your cycling lives? I'll start. I am tired of having my ass handed to me at the Thursday night races.
Are you going this week?
I don't think so.
Are they having one this
Why?
week?
Yeah, there's one
Yeah.
more. There's one more.
Because of the cancellation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You going?
I might
Oh,
be able
for-
to wiggle that one.
Oh.
You got to show up. You got to show up.
The problem is I did the timeline, and while I was in the shower crying in a fetal position, rocking back. This whole heart issue started in February, mid-February,
Yeah.
and then it went through to the first shocking of my ticker in late March, early April. And then that didn't necessarily work. And then I had to wait for the ablation in late April. And then I finally got around to getting everything back to normal and the healing process in mid-May, I'm not going to lie, I am about 10 weeks behind where I should be.
Yeah.
I went out and did
At minimum.
Today I went out and did my sprint workout where I go around the 7-mile loop, and every hill I try to hit
Good man.
super high numbers.
Good man.
And every single hill I was 15 to 20% slower than I should be, than I would be normally.
But it's not even like, I mean, because also you have to think about the time in which, like, this winter you weren't able to really train that much either,
Yeah.
leading up to it.
Yeah.
When you got
I
put on
was-
beta blockers and everything.
Oh, that's when it hit right about in February.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
that was when it started, and I was off the bike.
Right.
So I'm at the point where it's, do I want to go out and get just bitch slapped by a bunch of
Always.
people 30 years younger than me and only make it 7 laps into a 10-lap race? Or do I just want to keep riding? And I don't even think I'm going to do RC3. I think I'm going to announce the crit. And I'm not doing it because I'm pouting. I just don't want to necessarily...
You got a tear running down your cheek.
Do I?
Yeah. Go ahead. You're not pouting. Go ahead.
World's smallest violin playing just for me.
I'm not pouting.
I don't think I have a cry. Oh, wait. No, I do have sad music, don't I? There we go. You see, things have just been hard lately. And I just don't know if I want to go out to a race and have people make fun of me and not get my participation medal because I didn't finish.
Participation.
I can't breathe. I gotta go outside. I can't breathe. Everybody in this generation has panic attacks now. And I understand it. The world's coming to a freaking end. So have your panic attacks. But I notice they're very popular these days.
They are.
So I don't know if I'm going to do the RC3. I think I might just announce the crit.
How long is the road
Watch
race for you?
It's
2
2
laps.
laps again.
God, you're 1 lap, right?
No,
That's
it
a
doesn't seem
joke.
Right.
It is a joke for him. Yeah.
Can't he jump in your race?
Not for state championship.
Yeah. If it wasn't, I would.
I think you got
Oh.
a serious shot though.
I do too.
I
Like
don't
a
know. Well, there's only
serious-
one other 60 plus.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got a real serious
But
shot.
he is been around for a long time. Matt
real.
is his name. I think he's a professor down at University of Idaho, and he
Oh,
does
yeah,
cross. He does. Yeah, that guy.
You want-
He rides all the time. He's,
You
he's a
want
strong
us
rider.
to
Yeah.
do something about that?
No.
I could take him out.
Smells. I'll tell you what we do. Smells.
Tanya Harding thing. Is that
You
what you're
go.
gonna do?
You cut the
he goes
hamstring
back.
just below the calf.
So when he goes back,
He'll quit the game.
he'll slice it.
He'll quit the
He'll
game.
quit the game.
Oh my
I'm
god.
sorry. Go ahead.
So that
do with smells.
my cycling life, I think I'm going to. I'm not really terribly worried about it. Spoiler alert: I did talk to a person on an interview this week that I'm going to be posting this week. God, I just hit my nose on my own mic. And what was cool about him was talking about the fact that I don't get me wrong. I'm not quitting racing. I'm not quitting racing. I will never quit racing. But it's okay to think about cycling as in different areas every so once in a while. And so I'm just
Really?
thinking, this is one race. This is just one race, Pat. Just chill, which you have no ability to do, and just go and just relax and just ride your bike and train and I enjoyed the speed work today. Although I looked at Strava and I kind of was like, I suck. Then I jumped off my deck. No,
Into your pool.
into my pool. Yeah. But so, I don't know. That's kind of where I am. So we'll see. I hope a good training block will help. But after the wedding, of course, that is. So how's everybody else doing? I really took that.
I can
and
make
ran
mine
with it.
short and sweet. I rode out on Sunday to try to spin out some of the toxins.
Really?
Yeah.
I slept.
There was just pure
I didn't even
bourbon
sleep. I
coming
laid on the
out of my
couch.
pores.
I walked into the house. My wife went, "You smell like
Yeah.
alcohol."
I thank God my wife wasn't home.
What's
No,
so
I was
funny?
just like, I went straight out, sweated it out, came home, showered, and felt 1,000 times better. But yeah, and then I rode
Such a dick.
today because I've had to work
Yeah.
long days. I haven't had as much time to ride, but I was actually a later start today, so I was able to go out and ride
Nice.
just a river loop, 25 miles.
Yeah.
Felt fine. God, that Serrata is sick.
You're still
racing
on that?
I'm racing that thing again on Thursday.
Are you?
Yeah, 100%.
And he'll even have his own bike back.
Yep. Still gonna race it.
Wow.
I might not go back to that. That's why I'm like, dude, if you want to keep it for longer, you're more than welcome to. That Serrata is sick.
You might have to be the
It
guy
weighs
for the
under
video
20
series.
pounds.
Yeah.
That's so light.
You might have to be the guy for the video series. I was trying to. I've been talking to a steel custom frame builder about how steel can compete, and if it can. And we know that it's not equal. It's not a completely equal playing field, but there are gives and takes. And I think if you component build it up, you could probably get a light enough bike, and you might be able to compete. And I think it'd be a really cool series to put together of segments on this show and a couple video segments on how a real person, not a GCN presenter in one 20-minute segment, can talk about how a bike.
I think like it's one of those things where if you were to put a world tour rider in a world tour race on a steel bike, God, they're gonna likely get blown out the back.
Yeah.
Like we're talking massive, in just 1% change. But like locally, God, I really don't see why that is a disadvantage to have a steel bike.
It's funny. I just saw or I watched a podcast, and I can't remember the name. They're up there. There's a couple of Brit guys, and they were talking about what's overrated and what's underrated. Steel bikes both of them own steel bikes. They're so underrated. They're unbelievable. Yeah. Thai bikes are overrated.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's got everything that you want on a steel bike.
It's simple. I don't know. I just I think that they are so cool. I told him I just wanted the seat post back off of it because I have the normal seat post that goes on that. I want to just put it back a little bit further, but that's the only thing. Besides that thing rides like a cherry. It's so comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's honestly plenty stiff. It's totally a race bike.
Yeah.
But it is a high-end steel bike. But if I could tell somebody who's getting into racing now, I'm like, God, buy a high-end steel frame for $500, if that.
They won't do it though.
No, I know,
because
there's
so many
so
things.
competitive.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like you brought up a point. Instead of having GCN presenters, how many? I used to watch a lot of the GCN product. Now everything's versus.
Yeah,
I'm so burned out on 1986 versus 19.
They're
whatever, and
standing
it's
there in a FEMA jersey,
and they do the same.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff over and over again. It's like I was surprised it was good, but we're looking at the wattage, blah 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 blah. Well, it's the average person loses 3 watts just in their position, easy.
3
has
or 10
30.
watts.
Well, I mean, they could do
fashioned.
that with improper fitting. Yeah,
I'm talking permanently.
Yeah,
They gone. Yeah, no,
I
you're
pissed
right.
it down the drain.
Oh my God! There go my watts.
No, you're totally right, though.
I think that people would be surprised on all, the difference if you rode. I don't know. I was going to ask Jackson kind of off the mic, but what he thought riding his bike, which is what, 10 years old? Your Cervelo?
No, I think it's a 2017 or
2017.
Yeah.
So you had two
it's
different
getting
things.
there.
I'm kind of going off.
No, you're
off of
fine.
that, but you have that SRAM, and you had Shimano.
That's Shimano too.
Oh, that's Shimano.
Yep.
But it's not
When he went
electronic.
from
Nope,
Di2
it's-
to
Yeah. So
Mechanical.
and then you had rim brakes, and then
You and I
rim
talked
brakes.
about the rim brake difference. The
Right.
rim versus.
So
what'd you think about that?
there are, I think, a couple I will say I do have a little bit of slight knee pain. I mean, it's not my bike. It's not what I'm used to. So that's kind of beginning to arise. So that's I would say the predominant reason as to why I'm returning it to you.
Totally.
But I don't I've gotten to a point where I don't really trust the rim brakes anymore. I don't like the responsiveness
Really?
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
When we went out on our ride at Newman Hauser, I felt like I had to drop back more. I felt like I had to brake earlier. I didn't feel comfortable with it.
Because I would flip that and going out on my gravel bike, I'm almost more because it grabs so quickly
Yeah.
that it's just that
I'm very much
difference
that way.
between what you're used to.
I think that's
But I
what
get
it
it.
was down to. Yeah.
Yeah, and then shifting. I mean, you're a fully trained mechanic, so everything shifts super clean. But it doesn't. It's not as clicky as what I'm used to. So it's a little bit softer of a click than I'm.
That's also 20,000 miles.
Yeah.
Well, it's you can't do that. And then it's a different bike. It's
Maybe that's why my knees click because it's the miles.
I have a super stiff frame.
Yeah.
And so it just feels way different
Yeah.
riding a bike that's not your own.
Yeah.
For especially when we rode 80 miles. Like
Yeah.
I think that's
Totally.
why another reason why knee pain began to
Yeah.
arose. And then I got on my gravel bike, and it's like, oh, this is like custom to me and all that
Oh,
stuff.
that felt better.
Yeah, it felt
Oh,
really
okay.
good. So
Wow.
yeah, I guess. And then to move on to the whole like how's riding been going, I think
Yeah.
I'm fully committing to a bit of gravel until my road bike returns,
Yeah.
because I like it, and I'm kind of over competing.
Yeah.
For a little
I
while.
get it. I get it. And you can't compete anyway. Like
Yeah.
you can't go to this week's race. You can't go to RC3. So what's the point?
Yeah, and it's just like it's not really that fun
Yeah.
anymore. So I'm just like I'm taking time to just have fun on my bike again.
Mentally, you're probably elsewhere too.
Yeah, I mean, right now work's hard, and then wedding stuff. Wedding stuff's
I mean,
coming.
the other thing. Yeah.
No, I know. It's just like my mind's filled with a bunch of stuff. So thinking about racing and competing is like not something I need. But yeah, that kind of answered all-encompassing questions.
No, that was
but-
good. That was good. Paul, how's your cycling life? I think that's where we are still.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, we're still at the intro of the freaking show. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing okay on the weekends. I wish I had a little more on the weekdays, but that's, well, you guys know my diva dog, so
Yeah.
I can't really do that. So
At least he's named Flanders. That makes it cool.
yeah, kind of eases the pain, I guess. So we got some lip service.
Yeah, Jackson was talking to me quietly. What? There's a bar towel on the fridge. Oh, your glasses dirty or something?
No, the camera.
The camera.
That's right.
lens.
You can leave it if it's on me.
Was it
That's
really
fine.
bad? Was it bad? Really?
Anyway,
Better now.
It's a high
thought we could have just kept going.
yeah.
No, that's good. No, we're good. I was just trying to figure out what you were. You just went to me and you went.
See, now the viewers
Can actually
don't
see.
have lines on the lights
that bad?
anymore.
Oh.
This guy's worked in show
Yeah,
business
yeah.
before.
I've left the door open a lot during the day because I'm in and out doing white
Pool
trash
work.
pool work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a pool boy now, but I'm not an attractive one. You were saying?
Oh yeah. So I've been getting out on the weekends, and I go typically try and go hard solo. I did. I went up Chuck, and then back. It was like close to a 50-mile ride by myself on Saturday, Sunday, because we have this thing called Hoop Fest in Spokane,
Oh, yeah.
and getting across town is like no.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went south, which is my least favorite, but I know it's yours, Sam.
Love
I know
it.
you like it.
Love it.
Boring as hell, but I just did that, and yeah. So
Right on. You've got a national championships you're planning for, too.
yeah, plan on going
Yeah.
and participating.
Okay.
We'll see how far we go with that.
All right, man.
Outside of that,
I can't wait.
and
Yeah.
RC3.
You're taking some cameras with you.
You are doing
Am I?
RC3?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
The
of
whole
course, the state
schmill.
road, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm even
Time
doing the
trial
TT. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, absolutely.
Is it Mercs?
It's Mercs now. I'm not doing the time trial anymore.
Maybe I'll do the time trial.
Yeah.
I could probably start the crit, but I'm just... You know how embarrassing it is for the announcer to come back and announce his own race?
Well, you can.
You might as well just give me the mic back. Because I'm not in the race anymore.
And then you get on. Pat Bulger dropped out.
Good job, you guys. I suck. Just have this gigantic existential crisis on the mic during the race.
Yeah, I know. It's confusing. I was out there with you, but then
Yeah.
you dropped me, and now I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm going to talk about all the bad things you guys did during the race.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you all crash.
You corner for shit. As he's rolling by, because Jackson isn't there to help us out this year. By the way, in case you didn't know, this episode is actually dedicated to the 2023 Tour de France. A preview, our thoughts, our opinions, and some stupid competitive elements. I have created a league. You don't know about the league? You guys seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Mm-hmm.
No.
You tell me you don't know about the league?
Mm-mm.
It's all right, man. Let's go grab a coffee.
Mm-mm.
It's a great,
Oh.
great movie. Everybody should watch that.
I will watch that.
On the Tissot Tour de France Fantasy on the tour's official website, I've created a league. Just Google Translate, by the way, because it's all in French. But
You can switch it to English too.
yeah, well, where's the challenge in that? If you're having our league is number 44726, or you can look for the pack filler and find it there. And you're welcome to join along. Brag, bust balls. Feel free to join us on our Facebook page for more shenanigans. Tomfoolery. Hullabaloo. So let's start broad, gentlemen. Let's start talking about the Tour de France. I should have had the French soundtrack national anthem.
Or
that's all they do.
Or they could have done Kraftwerk's Tour de France.
I just posted a Instagram post and I used that.
Uh-huh.
And you know how weird it is when you hit that song and the first 3 minutes are a guy going.
Forgot about that.
It's like, this is not a song about masturbation, honey. I promise. It'll
Hang
kick
in there.
in a minute. It'll kick in, and then it kicks in, and it's like, Tour de France, Tour de France. And it's really not a good song.
No, it's very bad.
It's really stupid.
Oh my god.
I think there's still a group too.
Yeah, Kraftwerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very. They're German.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to start off with a broad question, and you guys can answer them individually, or if you don't have anything, we can just keep moving. What does the tour mean to you? Is it the ultimate, or are you more of a classics person? Like, for example, I assume, Paul, you would say I lean more towards a one and done, everything on the line, classics, not stage racing. Am I wrong?
No. Yeah, I do like classics because it's all in at once.
Yeah.
I think it's like watching a movie as opposed to a miniseries.
God, I hate that everything on TV now is a series.
Yeah,
I hate
but I do like miniseries.
Yeah.
Not as good as
Miniseries.
a good
Yeah.
docu-series.
Yeah.
I always say that I'm a good docu-series.
Oh wow.
Speaking of, I have a fellow inspector. I asked him to watch that.
Yeah.
He's in bed sick.
Oh.
And he's like, I said, how you doing? He said, fine. I said,
never
watch that
responded
series.
'cause
He
he died
responded
in
back
bed.
and he said, this is great. He doesn't know anything about it.
Really?
Yeah. He really enjoys it. He goes, I don't know how far into it now, but he just started today.
Nice.
So
There's a chance.
Yeah. And just a little thing, the producer and director of that, from Box to Box, they had the ratio of footage that they used compared to what they took was 40-1. So for 1 hour, it was 40 hours that landed on the floor.
Yeah.
And he did not know anything about cycling. So
Yep.
when he put this together, this is like he's trying to create this story. So
And he totally left
That's
out the
pretty
Tadej
cool.
Pogacar crash.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it wasn't featured.
It wasn't in there. No,
But-
I just finished.
but he's you have to look.
Don't question my senility, Jackson. I am not losing my mental fortitude yet.
I'm in a.
Think he did.
Nope.
The one where he goes on his butt and he slides out
On the mountain? No.
No. Where Jonas Vingegaard waited
Yep.
for him. It's not in it.
You
But that's-
see the
do you
reaching
want- how
back
do
and
you-
shaking
where do
hands,
you-
the competitor part.
Yeah,
but
we didn't. Yeah.
When you're doing this, and you know how it is editing.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you focused? You probably would like to use a tutor, but he had
Yeah.
limited time, limited footage, and what are we trying to do here?
Yeah.
What
What's
are you
the
trying to
story?
accomplish?
Trying to
And
tell
the
a
story
story.
is,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and for us, because we know the story, it's like, how did they leave that out?
Yeah.
But for my friend Eric, he's watching it. He has no clue.
Yeah.
But he can go back and watch it and say, oh, then this will add to me. It'll add more to that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
And especially the teams that they had access to. They didn't have access to UAE.
Well, and they
so
had-
why feature UAE?
And they had some teams that they never even showed.
yeah.
DMS.
Really?
DSM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DSM. Yeah. Wow.
But anyway, yeah, that's what I do. And I think the tour is always fun to watch because, well, it is a pageantry of it
Yeah.
all. It's pretty cool. But I don't think sometimes it loans itself out to good racing all the time.
Okay.
Mm.
Anybody
I
got
love
a...
it. I
You
don't know.
love
I
it?
grew up with it. Like I grew up when it was.
This is it. This is
So-
the one. Yeah.
What was it on first? Was it OLN?
Yep.
Was that the first?
That
And then
you
it
remember.
was-
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Yeah. And then it was Discovery, right?
LON versus
OLN.
and then
Versus.
Yeah.
Versus.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
Which was the same company. It's just
Yeah.
well,
yeah,
changed their name
my
to
dad had
Versus.
TiVo, and we would get up and we'd watch that
TiVo.
together. Yeah. Right?
Uh-huh.
I know. Throwback. God, I'm so much older than this guy.
The first couple races, I had to
Almost
set my
10.
VCR to record them.
Yep.
And it was always preempted by
Yes.
fucking Formula One. So
Yes.
I got like 30 seconds of the tour because they didn't start the race when they said they were going to race in my VCR. Anyway, sorry, you were talking.
No, I
it
get
was
it.
your turn.
Yeah,
it was
no,
your
I get
turn.
it. But I would just say, like, to me, it is the pinnacle, and that has a lot to do with, like, it's sentimental to me. You know, it's something that, like, I sat down with my dad, and we always watched it together, and I just thought it was so cool that, like, things could change from day to day to day. And it's like, you go and you're like, oh, this is boring, and then it's like flips all of a sudden. Like
Yeah.
last year when Pogacar just cracked wide open, it was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
You know? It was,
No, I agree.
I think it's the coolest. I love everything, but it's the best.
You in the same boat or different?
No, yeah, it's probably my favorite race of the year. I mean, I do love a good classic, and as I always say, like a docuseries, I always say I love a good. But
It's like I always say with the
Callback!
series.
yeah, it's a good callback. No, I do love the classics, but there's something about the tour that just like gets me so
Get you
excited.
riled.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
gets me
get you
riled the hell
turned.
up. You know,
I get it.
and it's the only Grand Tour that I will watch every single stage on, like every single one.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited about it. I also think that having Tadej Pogacar race now has even brought me in more. Like I think that I am feeling a fandom towards him that I felt to another certain lost soul out there.
He's going for the green.
Well, yeah, and you want to know what
So am I.
yeah. We want to know what really
Who
sucks.
has a better chance?
What really sucks though is I'm almost fairly certain that he's younger than I am.
Tade?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's a
Yes,
little
he
younger
is.
than I am, and so being like a super fan of somebody who's younger than I am, not
So you're
the best
saying-
look. But
Wait, you're saying I can't cheer for him
Isn't it
without a
like
clown
6
costume and a
months?
dental chair?
but it's
That joke passed over everybody.
That's like me being a super fan of Peter Sagan.
Hopefully that was for you.
He's
the
only
listener.
just a little older than me.
yeah, I get. I
mean,
I hear you.
it's-
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, though.
But I'm super excited for the tour. I love it. It's just like you said, it's a spectacle. It's there's a showmanship around it, and I'm so excited for it.
What was your favorite tour? Quick response.
I would have to say 89.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That yeah.
2011? Was that Bradley Wiggins?
No, that would
Or was it
Cadell.
12?
Cadell.
That's Cadell.
Bradley Wiggins is 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
12. Well, yeah.
And it's
I
not my
was
favorite race.
I know.
Yeah.
I'd honestly say the 2020 tour.
Mm.
What a crazy tour that
Yeah,
was.
crazy end.
That's about the second probably because of the way it finished to 89.
I loved everything about last year, but my first real one I remember and romanticized was 85.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just Bernardino was all over my room. I took pictures. You know, yeah. I had some some Sports Illustrated pictures. Actually, I didn't. I just all cyclists in my room.
I
And it was all-
recant. Actually, now that you bring it back,
Yeah.
87.
87 with
Roche.
Stephen Roche. That was
That was
great
they
race.
did 23 stages.
Yeah.
They did
I could
like
list off like all of the
unbelievable.
riders that year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, Pedro
That was a good
Delgado was there, and, he lost some time at the start.
Yeah.
No,
he missed
that was
he
next
missed the
one.
prologue.
No, that was the...
That was
in
the year
89.
after he
That was
won.
in 89. He missed the
Wow,
prologue
you
because
are
he
a
won.
nerd.
He won in 88. And then
88,
blah, blah, blah.
you're right.
Anyway, lost you.
I
But
think
anyway.
28. I think it's either 2018 or 2017 where Alaphilippe held onto the jersey for so
Yeah,
long.
that was
Yeah.
cool.
And then that guy won a time trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and it takes me perfectly into my
That
next
was
question.
such French passion
Yep.
on that time trial bike.
Absolutely brings me into my next question. Will this be a clean tour?
No one knows that answer. No one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we hoping? I mean,
Always, always.
either they're masking great or it's a clean tour.
Been hoping for the last 14
Yeah.
years,
We're not going to ever leave the sport, even if it isn't clean, are we?
No.
We're going to
No.
keep watching, hoping
What sport?
that it's a clean tour.
Seriously, you tell me what sport. Maybe snooker.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the only one that's...
Yeah.
That's probably clean. And they're probably half cocked drunk anyway.
They probably
so-
are. Yeah, that's a performance enhancer.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was
It
in
is.
college and I played pool, I got low to the table when I was drunk. Shotgunning those Coors Lights.
Saw many of them.
Coors Light.
Is this solely going to be a Jonas versus Tade?
No.
No.
No, real. Well, okay, talk to me about first of all what that matchup was like, and other riders that could potentially get in there and stir the soup. Is that a term?
Yeah.
Stirring the soup.
Jai Henley.
Yeah.
Almeida. Isn't Almeida there? All these guys, think back when Roglic lost, Roglic and the Shark of Messina.
Yeah.
Vincenzo Nibali.
Yeah, thank you.
Nibali, yeah.
Those two were like watching each other, and that's when Carapaz said, "See you guys." He went on a break,
Yeah.
and they waited too long. And I think that's a situation. These two teams, this is a potential of these two teams watching each other, and another team taking advantage of it, or several teams.
Especially because there are 22 kilometers of time trialing
That's it.
in the whole tour.
And it's a brutal uphill.
Yeah.
It'll be an unusual time trial, whether they switch off of the TT bike or not. But it's like,
Do you think this is a potential twist for France to go, we have not won this goddamn race since 1985?
As awesome as a sentiment as that is, no way in hell is a Frenchman winning this year.
You don't see
No.
David Gaudu.
David Gaudu is
David
the
Gaudu.
closest, and he's not doing it.
and you saw him in the French national championships. He got blown up. They had a 3-man break.
Yeah.
And
All
Groupama,
FPJ,
and and he got popped by his teammates, and he looked terrible at Tour of Switzerland. Yeah.
I'm going to oppose what my colleagues, let's sound professional here, colleagues
Yeah.
have said, but
That's fine.
this is a Jonas and a Tade battle. I'm looking at this sheet right now, and I'm really thinking about it. I think that Jai Hindley, he's raced a lot of races, and he has gotten blown out the back of a lot of races. And so I'm not really holding a lot of hope for that team and that rider. So I'm really thinking that this is going to be a very interesting tour, because everybody thinks that Jonas is just riding on the coattails of the fact that he's got quite a killer team. But then we see Tadej Pogacar.
Tade has a brilliant team.
I was about to say, he's got a crazy team, but then we also are all thinking, oh, he hurt his wrist. Nobody knows what he's doing. And then he, boom, wins the first two races.
He won his country's time trial by 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So he wins the first two races that he comes back in races.
Yeah.
This guy is on a
Oh, yeah.
war path. Because like we mentioned last year,
Yeah.
you poke the bear, and they poked him, and he lost the tour, and now you're going to, in my opinion, poke a behemoth in
And
how
it
an
was
angry
really
Tadej
him
Pogacar.
against a whole jumbo team last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so isolated. He had God, who was the guy? Rafael Micah was the
Yeah.
only one that was there last year that was worth a damn.
Honorable mention, however, who's the American again?
Matteo Jorgensen?
No,
Nielsen Powers.
he's on UAE. It was an American teammate that he had last year.
Oh.
After Rafael Micah and Marc Soler were all done, he just brought him to the front,
I know
to
who
the
you're
top
talking
of the
about.
climb.
It's not.
Kevin Vermarke.
No, he's not on this list right now. He just won the American National Time Trial Championships. But
Not Lawson Crowley.
he's not on
he's
this
not on
list.
the
Oh,
list.
he's not
No,
on
no.
that list.
No,
Okay.
but
It's a
he-
UAE rider.
the American riders.
Brandon. No. It's
Brandon McNulty.
McNulty.
Yeah.
that was it.
Why the hell isn't McNulty on that list?
Because that's
Also,
a
what is
crazy team.
Multi?
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so you have to look at the teams. So you look at Jumbo. They have guys for the flatlands, and they have climbers too that are around Vindegar.
Yeah.
Same. I don't know if it's so stacked that way. Well, Matteo Trenton,
Groschartner.
Adam Yates. They got more climbers.
Yeah.
They have more climbers on UAE. And just to bring this up, stage 1 is brutal.
It's bumpy as hell.
Yeah, that's a GC, and then they're kind of lumpy. And stage 15 and 17 are gonna be crazy. There's no where breakaways are gonna get away and stuff where they can use that to their advantage. That's why I say there's a potential like a Bora or even Bahrain. I don't see anybody on there. There's probably a threat, but there's
I'm
that
saying
potential.
Egan
for
Bernal.
them to do it. Yeah, possibly.
Like-
If he goes up the road on this,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like this like
Sam,
whenever a rider has a serious
you're adorable
accident,
right now.
Whenever
you're
a rider
so cute
has
in
a
your little
serious
puppy
accident,
world.
you never know. It's kind of like Chris Froome had that huge injury and then he didn't make it back.
He's doing great.
Yes, I get that.
Advertising
but I also think
quad
that
lock.
Egan Bernal. Oh, that's bad. Yeah,
I can put my phone on my handlebars.
But you know who they have on it? Harrison Ford. Anyway, so
That helps.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I don't think I think that they would be the only team just because of their resources and having a couple other strong riders that could contend for overall. But I do think that there's going to be some really close battles for like second, third.
Ineos has got to be trying to figure out what the hell they're supposed to do. This team was created to win the Tour in its inception.
And it was dominant
since
out of like
Scott.
6 out of the 8 years.
And I am looking at their roster: Egan Bernal, Omar Fraile, Ben Turner, Daniel Martinez, Tom Pidcock, Michael Kwiatkowski, Carlos Rodriguez, Jonathan Castroviejo. None of them will be on the top step of the podium in France.
I think there are 2 sleepers in that team, though, of Carlos Rodriguez and Tom Pidcock.
Tom Pidcock.
Yeah.
I think that Carlos Rodriguez is going to be a lot higher in the GC standings than we are really expecting him to be.
Top 10? Top 5?
Could
Top 10.
I don't know about 5. Top 10 for sure, though.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a top 10 from him. And then a Tom Pidcock, we saw what he could do last year on Alpe d'Huez, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Alpe d'Huez.
Yeah.
And genuinely nobody in the world can descend like that guy.
No, I'm
So-
going to agree with you on that one.
And we don't
I
know-
love how the docu-series, everybody loves a good docu-series,
I always say.
featured an entire episode on that descent.
Well, that deserves
which
it.
Actually, they should.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah. Oh, it was a work
5
of
minutes
art.
or something like that
It was a
in
work of art.
that descent.
Yeah.
Like, how many
Yeah.
minutes did he make up in a descent?
It was insane. And to think, when was the last time we saw Tom Pidcock race? What, April?
Yeah.
Maybe April?
Yeah.
So you're saying that's good for his standing in the
Yeah.
Tour
Well,
de
I'm
France?
saying we don't know what
We don't know
he
what he
can
is.
do.
It's
He
just
could-
like Jonas. Like, he wasn't really at that many races, and then he always somehow peaks for Tour.
He's done more races than you think.
Yeah, but like minor ones.
the Dauphiné.
Well, he did the Dauphiné. He did some other earlier races in the spring, some stage
Yeah, but
races
in
in
that's
the
what I'm
spring.
saying, like, early
One
in
of
the
them he
spring
did
when he did
against
the Dauphiné.
Tade, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And Tade won.
Kick the shit out of
So,
him.
speaking of Tade, he's raced 21 times. You know how many times he's won?
17, 18.
No. Well, you're ruining it. Be realistic. It's
4,
14,
5, 9,
14.
12, 13, 7, 9,
14
4,
14
1, 2, 3, 4,
times.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to be right.
Now, mind you, some of those are stages where he was like letting breakaways go up.
You're
So-
a child.
Yeah, I know.
Goddamn
18,
child.
21.
You guys.
I win. Where's my medal?
I know. You
Where's
guys
my
saw me
medal?
this weekend with my
I
brother.
participated.
So we've got 8 flat stages for the sprinters, 4 hilly stages suited for breakaways, and 8 mountain stages. This is from prepared text, according to ASO. 4 of these include summit finishes. Puy de Dôme is a summit finish.
No.
That's a big one. And the Massif Central, that's a volcano, by the way. Grand Colombier, which is a big climb. And the Saint-Gervais Mont Blanc in the Alps. So those are the big ones. No huge, notorious climbs that we all expect. Alpe d'Huez, things like that. But sprint. Let's shift to sprinters. They have 8 chances. Is this the Matthew versus Wout show, or is there somebody else we think is going to come in and steal that? With all this climbing, I don't think a pure sprinter is going to make it happen. You've got to have somebody who can get over at least some of the minor bumps and make it through.
I think
Wout wins.
Well,
Wout wins.
I don't
Well,
think it's.
unless the documentary crew's there and hurts his feelings.
Or his wife is pregnant, and he says he will leave the tour.
Really?
Yeah, could be due at any time during the
That's a
tour.
good boy.
There's
That's
that,
a good boy.
and then there's also one more rider who was.
Don't say Sagan.
No,
Don't you dare.
no. I think there's another rider, however, who I think is kind of fallen under the radar, and he was in, I would say, top 5 of the Ciclamino last year in the Giro. Biniam Girmay. He put Arnaud Demar and Mathieu Van Der Poel at their limits that when he raced that Giro, and I think he has a very, very good chance of taking this green jersey because if Wout has mentioned before, one, White being pregnant, it's a big ass deal, but also the fact that he's not going for that, he's going for the tour helper role.
Actually, it's a big stomach deal, but that's okay.
Well, and then Van Der Poel, I think Van Der Poel can do a lot, but he can't do everything. And this team around this Intermarché team is all around him.
It is, but there are a couple little, pop-up potential stage win surprisers in there. But yeah, I agree with you. They're really working for that, and that would actually be a really cool green jersey surprise.
Yeah.
I think Mathieu Van Der Poel is flying. If you didn't watch him in this Belgian tour last week, he is absolutely hitting numbers that are.
So how did he do at national championships?
I don't know. Did he?
Mm-hmm. Two Jumbos worked him over. So, poo-poo on that idea, buddy. Yeah. Stick that in your pipe and smoke.
His whole team wasn't there, though.
Yeah.
So you got the point. Am I going to ask it? We got our dream wins, right? We got a lot of people ending their careers. By the way, Greg Van Avermaet, not there. Not going to be there. Mark Cavendish, Peter Sagan, who had a massive crash at the sprint of his national championships. Some people are saying he caused it. I looked at it. It looked a little wobbly, but I racing is racing.
Yeah.
Thibaut Pinot. Who has the greatest chance of taking a little glory in their final year and their final tour? Any riders other than the ones I mentioned? If there are, great. If not, how do you think the chances? Like, for example, the elephant in the room is Mark Cavendish gonna tie the record? No, beat the record of stage wins.
Oh, yeah. I would, yeah.
You think Cav's going to do it no matter what?
No matter what. I think that there are enough British people going to this tour that somebody wants to see that record be held by a Brit.
I don't know the Astana team very well. Gianni Moscon, Harold Tejada, Alexei Lutsenko, Yevgeny Fedorov, Mark, obviously, Cease Bowl, David De La Cruz, Luis Leon Sanchez. That doesn't sound like a lead-out team.
Not at all. I don't think that they care at all about. I think that they're just he is solo for this. Like, there is nobody there to help him. He's just got to be in the right position for one stage.
He can do it.
Yeah.
But he can do it. So he was national. If you watch the British national champions last year, all you guys did, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, he actually got in a breakaway.
Yeah.
And he could wax anybody in the breakaway in a sprint. So I think there's tons of potential in his last Giro win. Of course, some people poo-pooed it. I like to say poo-poo. Have you noticed? Yeah.
Poo-poo.
Because
it was a good win.
Geraint, let him out and that type of thing. But that's a potential. There's a potential that somebody, even if they're not even a patriot of compatriot of his, they could say, hey. To honor him,
you're just
guy.
You're just a Tom Dumoulin fan. That's why you say poo-poo.
Poo-poo. Yeah.
Or poule de doigt.
Poule d'or.
Poule de doigt.
Poo-poo.
Poo-poo poule de doigt.
Oh, my God.
That was his nickname.
Yeah, poo-poo.
Raymond Poule de
The
doigt.
French like to do that, like Jaja for Jaja Jalabert.
Yeah.
And then...
It's a really unfortunate nickname when you start to think about it. Yeah, it's like, hey, shit stick Bulger.
Hey,
I think he just developed his own nickname.
Yeah, that's what we're
crap
calling
yourself, Pat.
him now. Yeah. I think that's what we're calling you now.
Oh, great. Then I'll live up to it.
All right.
So, how about the Thibaut Pinot factor? Are we going to see the Jackson? You could not have been more passive aggressive with your eye roll and head shake to the side.
I love emotion and I understand it, but dude,
you're not making any friends right now because there are a lot of Thibaut Pinot fans out there.
I love that that people love Thibaut Pinot. I love that for them, but it's just like, oh my god. I do understand that like he's gone through a lot of like emotional pressure and everything. The whole country was on his back, but it's like like, dude, it's not anymore. I'm over it because I think that the French are always like, what they do is they find one good rider and then they'll just like pile so much pressure onto a rider that it almost murders their career. And I think that it's like, you guys,
I don't think almost is the word.
like, fully ruins their career because you guys kind of did this to yourselves.
I'm not taking a piss.
No,
It's
the rain
outside.
sounds wonderful. Yeah,
okay.
but
and it's just like, just let him race. Like,
I think
I'm over it a little bit.
I think the French fans and the French publicity is a little bit of the reason why they haven't won this race since Bernard Hinault.
Mm-hmm.
Bernard Hinault is one of those guys who was just like going,
I disagree.
I'm going to use an F word. Fuck you! I can win. I'm the champion. You don't think so?
No,
You think there's something genetic in the water in the country of
No,
France?
I think it's just
French
the country.
bread and wine.
It's just the country. It's
Really?
the attitude of the French.
So it's the attitude, though.
It is. I think that some of it, they haven't won a Paris-Roubaix since '97.
Do you think it's what
92
kind of an
in
attitude
Flanders.
though? Is it they're quitters or they're emotional
I don't-
or I was joking. They're not
Yeah.
quitters, except in World Wars.
Yeah, not a good. They don't have a good history, do they?
am so limiting our audience.
Yeah.
Does
Also, people that want to then be on the show.
Does your old
Yeah,
coach Eric
yeah.
listen to this?
Oh, sure he does. Yeah.
All right.
He does.
He's French.
He
He's
is.
in France, probably.
But no, I mean, what is the reason? Boy, we should almost just let the rain go and just do an ASMR.
well, that actually is great timing because
Yeah.
this is the tears of France because 1985 was the last time they won.
I'm calling that the name of the show, The Tears of France.
It's also,
I mean, the U.S. isn't much better than that.
Yeah.
they aren't better. Yeah.
But it's not in our home country,
That's
and
true.
it is
Yeah.
not they're the ones that started it all.
Yeah.
Let's look at the Americans. Sepp Kuss, Quinn Simmons, who just became a national champion. Kevin Vermark from DSM, in case you didn't know. I honestly knew very little about Kevin, and I apologize to my fellow countryman, Kevin Vermark.
Mm-hmm.
Matteo Jorgensen, Lawson Craddock, and Nelson Pallas. Those are the Americans lining up for the start of the tour. Yeah. Stage hunters. Unless you're talking about potentially a Matteo Jorgensen. Movistar, a team that's been in the business for decades, hasn't seen a tour winner. What are our chances for the flying the stars and bars?
Nielsen Powers.
Very, very unlikely.
The bike, Sam's going to get Jackson's going to get your bike. So it
I'm not
doesn't get
worried
wet.
about it, but
What
Nielsen Powers.
of stage?
Yeah, for
I think
stage. I
Nelson
don't. It
Powers
won't
and
be
Matteo
over.
Jorgensen are
Yeah.
gonna get some stages or a stage each, but maybe Lawson Craddock. I don't know.
I'm still having a hard time forgiving Quinn Simmons for being Quinn Simmons.
What do you do?
He made a stupid racist comment on Twitter.
It was an emoji.
It was an emoji, yeah, and I mean, at some point in time, you got to wonder, okay, what's the dude really
He was
like?
19 years old.
Yeah, he's a dipshit, and I guarantee I was a dipshit. I will probably be a dipshit tomorrow. God knows I was Saturday night with the old fashions. And, so let he without sin cast the first stone. Is he anyway? I don't want to get into a whole forgiveness element because
I'm not ready to forgive.
no, I know. You kept pouring them for me though. Oh wait, what are we talking about? Quinn Simmons could win a stage. The guy's got veracity. I mean, he can go. He can create something. Matteo Jorgensen could do something great if he's down low enough in GC and can go away. Sepp Kuss, I think, is going to be, his hands are tied. I don't think he's going to win a stage.
And he's happy doing what he does.
Yeah, yeah. Do you guys bother picking the polka dot contenders, or is that just a gamble now because it became such a early release, early launch kind of people thing?
Well, we're getting into that time of the we're getting into that generational time where we're beginning to see that the winner of the tour is going to win the polka dot jersey. So I think it's probably going to be a Tade jersey or a Jonas jersey, and nobody else.
I think they should give it to the second place guy in that situation.
Well, I don't.
know.
I don't at all.
I want my
don't know. I would
participation
say-
trophy.
Yeah, actually, I don't know where I stand with that because I'm kind of with you, but I'm also thinking like, well, you weren't the first up the mountain.
Yeah.
They won.
They
They won it. So why don't they get it?
Life's not fair. Deal with it. How are you guys going to watch? In other words, platform, and in other words, live or on demand later, or you're going to be a total bitch and go with highlights?
We have to do Peacock again, don't we?
Nope.
No, we don't. Not with the
GCN.
GCN and the VPN. GCN VPN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God!
Damn.
I am so sick.
Show perk.
I am so sick of listening to Phil Liggett.
He's adorable, but he's kind of and I don't want to bash him. The guy's a legend in the announcing sport, but there's sometimes you're just listening, going, "No, Phil, that's not right. That's not right. No,
That's not.
I don't like their pre-show stuff.
Horner's gone.
That's
That's
the
a
best.
blessing.
Isn't
That's really good.
Christensen?
Vanderbilt.
Christian Vandevelde.
Yeah,
Christian
Christian
Vandevelde. And then Brent Bookwalter, I think, is on now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Mm.
Which means none of us are going to be watching
No,
regardless.
no.
We're all going to
I'm
stick with
not.
GCN.
Yeah,
Yeah.
GCN.
Yeah.
100%.
However, post
What?
production, I'm not going to watch live.
You're not watching live.
No way.
Yeah, I'll be turning it
Live.
on.
Paul's watching live.
Because
I usually start you actually in the morning?
I get it.
4?
I get up at 5 in the
Oh,
morning.
you're crazy.
So that's just part of it is work and stuff, and I get everything ready, and
Sure.
I roll out to do my inspections by 8:30, and so 8:30 is when
Why are
the,
you up
the
at
tour's
5?
up.
You're
Because
leaving
that's-
at
Because the
8:30?
tour's on.
Because I have to at 6:30. I'm taking off
Oh,
phone
from
calls
your
and
house.
work. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm at my house until 8:30, working. So,
So you're live. It will be a mixture of both. It depends on the day. It depends on the race. A lot of times I'll wake up early enough that I'll catch it and it's in progress. And I love putting a finger on the little dot of the play list and just dragging it back
Yeah.
and being able to catch the stage technically live.
I will be honest with you. I think I'm just putting a feeler out there. I think on July 8th, I might not catch.
Might not catch us.
Might not catch the live feed on that one. Yeah, unless we all want to get here early and we all watch it together.
Just get
I'm
hammered
not
here
doing
in the bar.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Right the day of your wedding. Should there be watch parties? I remember we did for Paris-Roubaix here in the studio.
yeah, but that's Paris-Roubaix.
We could do
Yeah.
you could do a Champs-Élysées one where everybody gets super drunk, but
Yeah.
that's that's what they're doing in France.
But Champs is, again, it's in the morning here.
well,
I don't want to get hammered in the morning.
Well, you can make it. You can make.
You're not
it
in
an
college
evening thing.
anymore, I guess is
No.
what you're saying. No.
I want to feel hammered in the morning. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, God, that was so stupid. Okay, Sam stepped out because he thinks there's probably
Goomies.
candy on my stairs,
Yeah.
and there aren't.
That's sweet.
They're gone.
So he's
gonna
asking
come back.
Michelle, "Where's the candy?"
Where's the candy? Where's the candy? A final podium in order. Pick a final podium in order. And this is before we talk about you guys didn't pick your teams. And so we're going to rely on people seeing who you've chosen via the online gaming platform. But if you had to pick a final podium in order, what would it be? Jax, I'm going to throw you under the bus.
It's tough because I know a first and a second, but I don't know if I have a third, pinned down. But what I will do is I will say that Tadej Pogačar wins the 2023 Tour de France, followed by Jonas Vingegaard. And then, let's look around for a second, fill some time with some noise. It is kind of tough, though, because when you really look around, there aren't that many more, hardcore
Overall
GC
contenders.
contenders.
Yeah.
But I guess...
Empty-handed, there's no candy.
There's no candy! Do you know how tempted I was just to plug straight into that new drain line? I fought some real urges there.
We have a bathroom being built downstairs for those of you who don't know what's going on, and it's been plumbed in, but Sam was just going to...
There's no urinal yet.
No.
Yeah.
My third place rider... so my first place was Tadej Pogačar. I'm filling Sam in for the listeners.
We're doing a final podium.
First place, Tadej Pogačar wins the 2023 Tour de France, followed by Jonas Vingegaard. And third place is going to be, because I really want it to happen for this team, Richard Carapaz.
Ooh,
God, that would be cool.
that would be
But he's
brilliant.
done.
You know what that would do?
He is done.
But he's done. Do you need a second, or do you?
No,
what
I
should
can
we-
easily. I'm gonna say also Tade is gonna win, but I think that I'm gonna go. Egan Bernal is gonna get second because Jonas is gonna be chasing after Pogačar. He is going to crack wide open on some stage, and Egan Bernal is going to just.
You know, he
weasel
was
his way
in
in.
like a massive car accident
Nope.
earlier, and he's broken.
I'm believing.
All right, that was a waste of 30 seconds. No offense to Egan Bernal, but you're an idiot. Paul?
Toddy for the win. Jai Hindley for second.
Oh.
And Roman Bardet for third.
What?
Because I
would
think
love
something's
that.
going to happen to Bendigo.
Do you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just think something unfortunate or something in their plans, or just they'll have to go back to Plan B if
Yeah.
you haven't seen that
Yeah.
video yet. But
And I think that the fact that Roglic did just win a 3-week tour. What, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I am really surprised they didn't bring him for a support.
No. I think he did his job for the team, and he's like,
I think
"Screw
so
you
too.
guys,
But I
man."
think the fact that they don't have him now really is a lot.
I think that is going to allow an opening for UAE
I
tactically. I
knocked
agree.
it on the head there.
I agree. My final podium I'm picking is Tade, Jonas, and Ben O'Connor from Age d'Azur.
That
be
would
cool.
be yeah.
I think
be cool.
I think a French team podium would be as good as the French are going to get right now. Green jersey, one name, one rider. Who's it going to be?
Wow.
Wout, Paul,
Paul, I'm over here.
you're over there.
Yeah, I'll say Jacob Jakobsen.
Yeah, Fabio Jacobs.
Fabio
Okay.
Jakobsen, excuse me.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say Beniam Girmay.
I thought you were going to
I'm
say
gonna do it.
Peter Sagan.
No, I can't. I
really
can't
gonna
say Peter
Sagan.
Sagan. As much as he holds.
David will. Because he doesn't know any of the other sprinters. David's going to go
He
Peter
will.
Sagan.
Yeah.
Peter's gone.
I'll create a shrine and I'll post it somewhere, but
We can make one here. Yeah.
to the man himself.
Yeah.
He's not dead at all. Not even close. I know.
Sorry,
Gonna
Matthew
make me tear
Vanderpool.
up.
Matthew Vanderpool. That's who I'm picking. I think he's got the chops to do it.
All different.
Is anybody willing to put anything on the line here?
Name it.
So, no, just what were you gonna say?
No, worst place rider on the show has to
Name it. Or crush you all. Please don't make me shotgun.
So okay. So I
Usually it's some sort of the best punishment still was Paul riding on the rollers during an entire show in the Jersey of Shame, in the Kid of Shame.
Yeah, that would be
I broke the
brutal.
glass.
That was a legend
did.
because you sprinted at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a brilliant show. Go back into the archives and watch that one, everybody. It's on YouTube.
It just rattled right off the edge, right?
Yeah, because he sprinted. Yeah.
so I'm not doing the beer mile. I will say that, but
No.
sure, I don't care.
You be
I
the
don't
film
care.
crew.
Yeah, I'll film it.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. You don't have any suggestions of who could? We got 3 weeks to figure out a punishment, and
Throw
are
it
we
out to the listeners? They get to choose our demise.
going to do it through the Tour de France version?
They have
yeah.
to. Yeah, I
The
think
tour's
that's best.
page.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to pick our riders. We're going to stick with it, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to let chips fall where they may. And somebody, any of the listeners, any of you guys out there who kick our ass can brag and laugh it up. But the bottom of the list, everybody's going to see who's the bottom of the list, and we're going to know. And that person, we're going to okay. So I'll offer it up.
Sure.
Offer it up. Although it should be 2 times up Mount Spokane.
No,
No,
it shouldn't. That
didn't-
was
That
bad.
didn't turn out very well.
No,
was so bad.
But you're not
do it.
racing down Mount Spokane.
We weren't
like your
racing.
asses were. You
Okay,
were
we
racing.
were
You guys
racing.
were hauling
I'll do it.
ass.
I promise you, I go way faster than we were. there was too many cars in the way, and it's not my fault that
Once again, you
Roger
guys
take a
need it.
drink
Right, yeah.
had to run stupid tubeless, hookless.
For
fucking
example,
tires.
I will say, because I've already been to the Tour de France site, and my team is Tadej Pogačar, Mathieu van der Poel, Matthias Skelmos, and by the way, his name is listed as S. Jensen in the list on that page. So I looked it up, and it's one of those names. He has multiple names, so I'm pretty sure that's right from Trek.
Yeah.
The guy who won
Yeah.
Tour Suisse. Ben O'Connor, Oliver
He's
Nason.
20 years old.
Yeah.
Tour de Suisse, real quick.
Yeah.
Youngest podium in the history of any tour.
Really?
Yeah. 20.
These kids don't
21
respect their
and
elders.
23, I think, or it was, yeah. They're 23. The oldest one was third place. And you know who that was? Remco.
They're just disrespecting, man. They're not taking their time to learn to be a bike racer, and and it shows.
I don't like it.
Matteo Jorgensen, I have Fred Wright, and I have Nils Pollitt because I started running out of money. No offense to Nils.
Well, he won the national TT for Germany.
He did.
So, yeah. You could
So,
get a...
And when you're picking this team concept, what I like about it is you have a budget, just like poor Jonathan Vaughters. And you have to be very particular, especially if you're picking a rider where you're going, okay, stage wins obviously mean a lot more. I can't pick a rider who I think will win one stage win. For example, Sepp Kuss, not Sepp Kuss, or
Quinn Simmons.
Yeah, Quinn Simmons, because he might win one. How's that going to benefit me in the long run? So there we go. Okay, so everybody play along, and we'll see how it goes.
I will destroy you all.
You guys ready for game time?
Let's
go.
We're going to play a round of tour trivia, and I wish once again
Are
I had
you
the French
kidding
national anthem. Tour trivia. It's all across the board. Don't be such a poo-poo.
I'm sorry that I wasn't alive in 1989.
Tour de France.
Wow.
Some of it can be guesses.
Paul is foaming at the mouth right now.
No,
Yeah, he
I
is.
don't
Paul,
know that
Paul
much.
might very kick
No.
ass, but
No,
there are some questions in here that might not allow to it. Might allow for a little bit of guessing. So again, with anything, you have to chime in with your name first. So Jan, Sam, Paul, and then correct answer wins it. In some cases, we have answers that are closest to the correct answers. So don't panic. So, for example, our first question is the year the first tour was held.
Paul,
Yeah.
1903.
Oh shit! You guys are screwed.
Good God.
Number 2. How many stages did Greg LeMond win in his victorious year of 1990?
Paul,
Yeah.
0.
See? This is stupid.
This is stupid.
You wrote this and you're like, oh, yeah, they're going to have a chance.
Well, you're not going to get this one either, but I hope that you can get at least a couple of it. So chime in early. Who are the 4 riders who have officially won the tour 5 times?
Jackson. Chris Froome, and Chris Froome. I don't know.
He's won 4 times.
Yeah.
You want to try?
Wait, how many times did they
5.
Have won 5 times. Officially won the tour 5 times. 4 riders have officially, meaning Voldemort doesn't count.
This is, we got to end the show.
Eddie
on about
Merckx.
thing.
Yeah.
Good?
I can't believe you guys are on the show. You don't
That's-
even know your history.
Yeah. That's
It's
about
very
as
important.
deep as I'm
Sorry
gonna
that
go.
we-
I'll fill it in for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jean Concotil,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eddie
yeah.
Merckx,
Yeah.
Bernard Hinault,
We.
and
I could've gotten that
Miguel
one.
Indren.
I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Indren
either.
did it all 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry that we were born with paved roads. Okay? Didn't realize it was that type of show.
But we're educating you. In the process,
I don't come here
while
to be
I'm kicking your
educated.
ass.
I come here to have a good time.
While I'm kicking your guys' ass, you are learning. Yes,
This is my 2 weeks. Don't you guys realize?
it's like your dad getting dropped
This is my 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago was 5 laps. He's grown from getting his ass kicked. He went seven laps.
The lights
last
are gonna
time.
start
See?
Did you hear that thunder roll?
I
that
saw the
means
light.
that means God is upset with you disrespecting the history of the sport, Jackson.
Oh, no.
Number
Sarcasm.
4. What does the title sponsor of Team Cofidis do as a business?
Oh,
Sam.
Jack. Yeah. Okay, Sam.
They were a bank?
I'll give it to you. It's a credit
Credit
company.
Yeah. It's kind of like
I'll
a
give it to you.
money.
Credit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
knew it
it's
was
money.
money.
Number
Wait, they were
5.
like, I'm just curious, just so I know this. It's a credit card
It's
or
like
something?
no, it's kind of like what is it? Money tree
Yeah.
type thing.
Oh, okay.
Loans.
Like
Like a
loans.
money
Okay.
lending service.
Yeah, and not a good one.
It's a scam. It's
Yeah.
it's really really bullshit. But thanks for your sponsoring and support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5. Who is the only rider to win the overall mountains and young rider categories in the same year?
Jackson. Is it Taddy Pikachu?
That is
Yes.
Oh,
Good man.
I don't want to play the game. I got one.
It's
Now
way
you
more
guys
fun
get-
to make fun of it. We all know that.
So if I pretend I didn't give a shit, it's okay if I lose.
Oh,
Yeah.
You all right over there?
Yeah, I have a weird eye thing going on.
There's a
Keep going.
sty in my eye. Who are the 3 riders who have lost the victory after the race completed?
Okay,
Are you talking
Jackson.
because of doping?
Jackson said his name.
Yeah.
Is it well, Lance Armstrong probably.
That's correct.
And then there is whoever the guy, his name, he Everest did a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's Alberto Contador. He did. That's right. I know that. And then there's another one. There's
one more.
I know.
I got it.
No, you don't.
The conch is still mine, piggy.
It is what's his name? Is it Floyd Landis?
Yeah.
Oh!
Ding, 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 ding.
Good man.
Jackson
Wow. Good man.
pulled it out. Nice
After
job.
he gained 10 minutes on a tour stage.
He has. In terms of nationality, which country has won the most Tours de France?
Jackson. Is it Belgium?
I'm sorry, that is not correct.
That's a
Sam,
close
Italy.
I'm sorry, that is not correct.
France.
Paul gets
It
the
is
France.
France.
France has won the most tours.
Well, they started
Wow.
it.
Yeah, they started it. There was
They
like
just stopped
there
in
was probably
85.
like 20
That's
years
it.
yeah,
in
like
which they
40,
like
50,
Yeah.
100
Yeah.
years where they
Years
won.
that don't matter.
Number 8. What bikes does Team Israel Premier Tech?
Jackson.
Sam.
No.
I
That
think
was
Jackson.
Jackson.
What?
Yeah.
Factor.
Factor. Yep. I put Focus, but I was
Wrong.
wrong. I was very, very, very
Uh-oh.
wrong. Number 9. Choose the rider that is the youngest in the tour. Now, mind you, everybody gets to pick. Everybody gets to pick a name in this. You have to pick the youngest rider in this Tour de France, starting as of the start. The closest to the top wins 2 points. So you can take it. You can take a second looking at your roster. The youngest competitor at the start date of the Tour de France in 2023. I have the top 10 in front of me.
I'll say Tadej Pogacar.
Sam
no
says Tadej
There's
Pogacar.
got to be somebody like 20, but
I will say this. Tadej Pogacar is not in the top 10.
I had very low.
In other
hopes.
words,
you're wrong.
you suck. Nobody likes you.
You picked him. You picked the kid.
Yeah.
He's 20 years old. Skatermos or whatever his name is. Isn't that his name from Trek?
I will
Vincent.
say this. Mateus Schiamos
Skatermos.
is 22 years and 278 days old. He is 4th. Jackson,
There's somebody who's younger.
you have 3 names above that
That's
that you can
insane.
potentially take the 2 points.
That's man. Quinn Simmons is younger, isn't he?
Is that your choice?
I think Quinn Simmons is younger.
Quinn Simmons is 22 years, 54 days. He is the youngest rider at the
Ding,
Tour de
ding,
France.
ding.
No way.
Followed by Carlos Rodriguez, Kevin Vermarke, and Matthias Schimmel.
Quinn
So
Simmons is
Jackson
only
wins 2 points.
22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He
crazy.
got his pro contract in 19 after he won the
Yeah.
Nationals. I mean, the Worlds.
Oh,
Let's flip the coin. Oldest riders at the Tour de France. Starting the Tour de France. I have the top 10 sitting here in front of me. The person with the closest to... Wow, you can really hear me folding that paper and over the microphone.
We're going to hear thunder here soon.
ASMR.
Jackson.
Yes.
John Degenkolb.
That was a big one. That was a really big one. She's a...
Oh wait.
Nope, nope.
Wait, nope,
Jackson
nope.
changed his mind.
Let me look. I know what it is. It's where is that team? Sorry. It is Alexander Kristoff.
Alexander Kristoff is not in the top 10.
Mark Cavendish.
Mark Cavendish, Sam says. 38 years, 41 days old. He is currently the 4th oldest rider.
Good
so that's
God.
not a bad choice. Paul, you better not be on your phone.
No.
I'm
I
kidding.
just got a text. I know Michael Woods is up there. It's got to be a domestique.
Currently sitting with Mark Cavendish at 38 years, 41 days.
I think I do know who it is actually.
Wait, the number one person's 38 years for. Oh, that's
Mark
what-
Cavendish is
okay.
38 years, 41 days.
Don't know. No clue.
No clue. You're not even going to guess.
No.
Can I give a guess though?
You can give a guess.
Is it Luis Leon Sanchez?
Luis Leon Sanchez is number 2 at
Wow.
39 years, 219 days old.
If it's John Degenkolb, I'm gonna hit myself in the head.
No. Number 1 is Dries Devenen from Sudal Quickstep.
Quickstep. I should have.
He will turn. He will turn. I think if my number's right, 40. 39 years, 344 days. Second is Luis Leon Sanchez. Third is Michael Morkov, who's been on the
yeah.
Back on the podcast. Fourth, Mark Cavendish. Fifth, Simon Geschke, who should have won the polka dot jersey last year.
But who did? The winner
Yeah.
of the tour.
Simon Clark, Lauren Pinchon, Andre Amador, Rui Costa, and Michael Woods rounding out the top 10. There
I
you
didn't
go.
think Michael Woods
So
was that
who got that
old.
one?
Nobody.
Me.
No one.
No.
I didn't. I was the highest.
Sam got top.
Oh, yeah,
Sam
yeah,
got
yeah.
closest
Oh
to
my
the top.
gosh.
Yeah, Sam, it's okay. I got
Oh
you.
my gosh.
I got you. It's okay. It's all right.
What is this?
I don't have any candy for you, but we got cookies after
Ooh.
the show. David brought us cookies.
Right.
Number 11. We only got a couple left. How am I doing on time? I'm doing great on time. Trek has a new title sponsor
Paul.
in
Damn it.
LIDL. What does that company do?
It's a grocery store.
It is a grocery store. Paul is absolutely
Lidl.
right. Paul's crushing
Wow,
it.
never
I
even
knew what it
would have
was.
known that.
Closest to the number total, so all of you get to pick. How many viewers in total does the Tour de France attract?
I'll say 25 million.
25 million. Paul says 25 million.
I would say 85 million.
Jackson says 85 million, which is more than 25.
Yes,
Sam
it is.
says
By a bit.
I'm gonna go 50 million.
50 million. So you're in the middle. You went
Mhm.
nicely tucked there in the middle. You're one of those cowards. Just like,
Well,
oh,
I
just-
didn't do
I'm
like
gonna go big.
26.
You're not on the
million.
Price of Right saying $1, bitch. Yeah, on a car. The total viewers of the Tour de France attracts 3.5 billion viewers, which means Jackson. I can't believe you're right.
Wait, how
with
many
that
is
low
the
of a number.
Super Bowl?
It crushes the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Oh, really?
Crushes the Super Bowl.
See, I thought that's why I dialed it back. Because I thought the
Our
Super
sport
Bowl won.
beats the Super Bowl.
That's
'Cause it's
awesome.
worldwide.
That makes me very
I'm
happy.
crumbling up paper to show AMSR style what I think
ASMR.
of the Super Bowl. Is it ASMR?
Uh-huh.
I don't even know.
Asmer.
Stupid. 2 questions left, gentlemen. And by the way, Jackson's sitting at 6. Paul's sitting at 5. Remember the pouting you did at the beginning of the
Like
game?
I said, it's way more fun to make fun of the game than really.
Sam is at 3.
I'm crushing.
Number 13. What is the record for the most tour starts? You don't
Oh,
have
Paul.
to
Sam.
necessarily.
Paul.
You.
It is 17. And it is, he's Australian. God, what is his name? Can't think of his name.
I'm going to stop you right there.
It's not
You're
right.
incorrect.
Oh, that was my guess.
Oh, well.
Oh, wait. Do you have to guess the number?
Yes.
Just the number.
19.
Just the number. Sam says 19.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
I know the other number.
Jackson says 20.
You're all wrong. It's
18.
18. It is 18. And it is Sylvain Chavanel.
No.
Sylvain
Yeah.
Chavanel. 18
I thought that.
starts.
Oh, we're thinking of the guy who did the most
Hansen.
consecutive. Yeah.
Hansen.
Of the Stephen Hansen or
Hansel?
something like that. Or,
Hansen,
Hansel.
he used to do his own carbon shoes. He's now the head of the cycling union.
he
What's his name?
he raced the most consecutive Grand Tours,
Tours. Yeah,
which
it was
that was the
17.
number I was
There
thinking
you
of.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Final question. Final question of the
Wait, so
competition.
you're telling me somebody raced for 20 years in the tour?
No, 18. 18.
Holy.
Sylvain
A
Chavanel.
long time.
Sylvain Chavanel.
Okay. Well, that's
Frenchman.
Yeah,
Never won.
never.
And the French probably hated him for it.
Yep.
And he raced on a Belgian team for
He did.
quite a few years.
He did.
Quick
He
step.
finished with Total Energy.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Number 14. Last question. Finishes. The most amount of finishes. Now, hold on. I will give you a point for the number, but I will give you 3 points if you can name the riders who have finished the most Tour de France. It is a tie.
Who have finished the most tours?
Yes, the most finishes. Number 1, I'll give you a point for the total, for the number, just like we did with the record for the most tour starts. I will give you 3 points. Did I say 3? Yeah, for one of the names of the riders. So, as you guys did earlier,
Hansen is going to be the
Yeah,
name.
you can
Hansen.
pick. You can start by picking a number.
Okay.
A number. For
17.
17. Paul
No.
says 17. Sam says
I'm going to say that it was like 8.
8.
I'm gonna say that it was 11.
Okay. I'm going to go closest here because I do want you guys to actually try to tie into the short little brains you apparently don't have. And remember that Sylvain Chavanel started 18 tours.
Right, but he started.
That's why I
18.
said 17.
Okay. Paul wins because the number is 16. Now, pick a rider.
Sylvain Chavanel.
Yeah,
I said it first.
They gotta, I don't know if I can give you the points now because Sylvain Chavanel finished 16. Also, Joop Zoetemelk finished 16.
See,
Paul would
I should've
remember
got
that name.
one.
Paul would remember that.
How about
name.
George Hincapie?
George was up there. I don't have the total list on here.
Because he did
George,
it 17 starts.
He did have 17 starts.
Holy.
Yeah. We have a tie between Paul and Jackson. I don't know what to do now because
We'll just call it a draw.
We'll just call it a draw.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sounds good to me.
Sam, it's
I
because
lost.
you came in here with your hippie drink and you were drinking.
Like
It's like, oh,
kombucha.
I'm trying to restore
Yeah,
my
my-
peace and zen.
But I don't have hangovers.
My gut enzymes are
I
so
don't have
on
hangovers.
track
I just
now.
felt terrible for the last 5 days. But I went for a ride and everything was fine. Jesus. Posers. Like, subscribe, and be sure to listen to the upcoming Pack Filler interviews. I've got one coming up with Sean Lally from Cycle Systems Online. Jackson's going to have a very close insight to that as we proceed here. Upcoming segments he's going to be doing on that. Cycle Systems Online. It was kind of fun to talk to the guy about the state of working on bikes and how everything has changed, especially since goddamn disc brakes. So there we go. Like, subscribe, and I guess we're gonna be doing something during the tour. Probably gonna be weekly. I don't know if I have the muster to do a daily episode. All right, you guys just be like, I only watched
See
the
you
bike race
Tuesday.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So there we go. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for God for not striking us with lightning and thunder. And did the drain work?
Looks
Yes,
like
yes,
it.
it did.
Drain outside
Yeah.
the studio
Yeah.
worked. Everything is right with the world. Happy Tour de France, everybody.